Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the Bronte Green New Development Area School Boundary Review virtual public information meeting. I am Branko Vidovic, the Senior Manager of Planning Services, and I will be taking you through this public information presentation. The agenda for this presentation is as follows. Item 1, we will take you through the School Boundary Review Committee and the members that make up the committee, the school boundary review process, the current school accommodation status quo and statistics, the proposed boundary options, and finally the next steps. The School Boundary Review Committee. The committee is comprised of 2 parent representatives from each school, 2 representatives from St. Joan of Arc Catholic Elementary School, and 2 representatives from St. Mary Catholic Elementary School. Board staff have been dedicated to the School Boundary Review Committee to provide any assistance that may be required throughout the review process. The School Boundary Review Process. What is a school boundary review? A school boundary review is a process to create and/or alter a school attendance area that defines the service areas of a school and/or program within the board's jurisdiction. This school boundary review follows New Development Holding Area Administrative Boundary Review Process, Section 4.2, which requires that the number of schools involved is lesser than or equal to 2, and that the holding area or new development area was previously identified to the community and is now being directed to its designated school. The creation of a school attendance boundary or areas are based on a criteria approach. The 6 criteria are as follows. Criteria 1, optimization and the use of existing school facilities. Criteria 2, minimizing the use of portable classrooms whenever possible. Criteria 3, to the extent possible, minimizing school boundary adjustments over the long term. Criteria 4, optimizing the cost-effective use of school transportation and maximizing the walking to school of students. Criteria 5, ensure that classroom organizations are sustainably sized to meet ministry loading requirements and appropriate size to foster an ideal learning environment. And finally, criteria 6, to the extent possible, give due consideration to the concept of a neighborhood and Catholic school community. Why is a boundary review needed? Bronte Green, formerly Sawwet Golf Course, is a new residential development area currently under construction that currently falls within the St. Mary Catholic Elementary School boundary. St. Mary Catholic Elementary School continues to face accommodation pressures due to high enrollment, while the neighboring school, St. Joan of Arc Catholic Elementary School, has seen declining enrollment over the last few years, with sufficient available pupil places to accommodate additional students in the future. The boundary review is needed to ensure that a home school for the Bronte Green New Development Area is determined in advance of the first group of students arriving to the community and ensuring that this is in place for September 2021. Also to note that optional programming boundaries such as French immersion and extended French will not be considered as part of this review. Current school accommodation status quo. The status quo, this is based on the school boundaries as of the 2021-2022 school year. The Bronte Green area is directed to St. Mary's currently. It's the area outlined in red. And again, just to mention that there are no changes to existing optional programming, i.e. French immersion and extended French. And as in terms of the enrollment for St. Mary Catholic Elementary School, there are 2 dashed lines over the capacity. So the functional building capacity is the bricks and mortar, and the site capacity includes portables. So during this current school year and in 2021, we are nearing total site capacity, meaning that there are students in portables, and it is not an ideal environment for learning. St. Joan of Arc Catholic Elementary School is substantially less. It is below the bricks and mortar building capacity for the school and could substantially accommodate additional students. The proposed school accommodation changes. The proposed boundaries. Under the proposed boundaries supported by the Boundary Review Committee, areas P19 and O18 would be directed to St. Joan of Arc Catholic Elementary School starting in 2021. There are currently no students within either area, P19 or O18. And again, just to reiterate, no changes to the optional programming. As for the proposed boundaries, what it would do to the projections for St. Mary Catholic Elementary School, it would bring down the enrollment at the school towards a functional building capacity level, meaning that there would be less of a need to accommodate students in portables. We would still see portables, but over time, as you can see, it would be reduced to potentially just a few portables on site, which provides that a majority of the students will be housed in the actual bricks and mortar of the building. Also, as part of the proposed boundaries, what it would mean for St. Joan of Arc Catholic Elementary School, it would increase in enrollment. However, it would still be within the functional building capacity of the school, meaning all the students could be accommodated within the school without having to put any additional kids in portables. So what this would do is essentially utilize the building capacities of both schools to better balance enrollments between the two schools. The next steps. There will be an opportunity for the community and members of the public to provide feedback based on the school boundary review preferred option. This survey will need to be completed by the end of day April 16th, 2021, and you will be able to submit questions via a button of the virtual public information meeting website. To stay up to date, subscribe for updates and news. All the school boundary review materials will be posted to the website and can be accessed at schoolplanning.hcdsb.org. To receive notifications of new materials being posted, make sure to subscribe to the website, and please make sure to let your community know about the website and how to keep informed. The tentative schedule for the school boundary review process, we've already had our school boundary review committee meeting number 1 on March 24th. The public information meeting, which is this right now, is April 7th. The next step is the school boundary review meeting, the working meeting number 2. This is if it's needed, and it would be based on the public feedback that's gathered as part of the survey that goes out. From there, it would go to an interim staff report, which would identify the school boundary review recommendations, and that would be May 4th, 2021. There will be an opportunity for public delegations on May 18th, 2021. And at that same board meeting will be the final action report with the school boundary review recommendations. Notification to school communities will be May 19th to May 21st, 2021, and the new boundaries would be implemented as mentioned for September 2021. And again, just to note, this is a tentative schedule and it is subject to change. And that is it for this meeting. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great day.